Well, damn. So much fun on watching a show regarding the DCU, but James Gunn, you freaking got me. Hello everyone, welcome to Chewy Cinematic Talk, and today I will give you my honest review and thoughts on Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 1 through 5, with some spoilers, but no worries, I will let you know once spoilers begin. Let me get straight into it. This show is fantastic. James Gunn's Superman is PG-13, but we do need some adult content, and Peacemaker is here to complete that void. I did not watch Peacemaker Season 1, mainly because it was under the DCEU, and we all know how that turned out. But after hearing how Season 1 was retconned, I decided to give it a chance, and I was not disappointed at all whatsoever, because so far, I love this freaking show. Despite being vulgar, raunchy, and in your face, this show has some heart, with some great touching moments. It's about a man who lost a big chunk of his heart and soul, and Peacemaker wants to be a better person for himself and for those around him, to some extent. Yet, he makes some decisions that takes him backwards. We all know the feeling of losing someone that is close and dear to you, and the crave to wanting to see them again. If you don't know this feeling, then lucky you. I hope you never do. This honestly reminds me of The Boys. You would definitely like Peacemaker Season 2 if you enjoy The Boys. Here, James Gunn is a showrunner. He even directed the first episode, and to top it off, he wrote the entire season. In my Superman review, I said, in James Gunn, I trust, and this proves my point even more. I am more than happy that James Gunn is the co-CEO of DC because I know we will get great content down the line. I highly recommend giving Peacemaker Season 2 a chance, and hopefully you see that it is for you too. I instantly fell in love with this show, and I hope you do as well. I hope you enjoyed the whole episode, from the opening scene to the end credit scene. Trust me, stick around for the credit scene because they're freaking hilarious. I know Peacemaker, or Chris, is a sadistic individual with good comedy chops, and you would know this if you saw The Suicide Squad, and this show just adds a whole new layer to that. From this point on, it will be all spoilers, so please keep that in mind, but know that I have nothing but great things to say about this show. Huge disclaimer though, I don't know much about DC. All I know are the two main superheroes and their main villains. The two main heroes being Superman and Batman. So please forgive me if I don't catch all the material in this show yet. But I will be watching the whole season and every movie produced through the DCU, mainly because James Gunn's Superman and the show has been amazing, and I'm craving much more. But now let's talk about what I like for each episode. Episode 1. The Ties That Grind. Seeing Mr. Terrific, Hawkgirl, Guy Gardner, Supergirl, and Superman just blew my freaking mind and put a smile on my face. Apparently Guy Gardner is a puke freak? Okay. The quantum folding chamber, or the storage area, gave me some recent MCU vibes, and I'm curious to know where this would take us. To me, it's pretty funny how Chris uses this as a storage area. Chris's connection with his father from the recap kinda hit hard, because we usually crave to make our father proud. I found it funny how Eagly wakes up Peacemaker and made me think of my own baby cats, Loki and Ash. Loki pokes me on my rib to wake me up to go feed him. His interview with the Justice Gang was just freaking hilarious. Poor Peacemaker. Emilia's hardcore spar scene was just top notch. It shows how much of a badass she truly is. The 30 Seconds to Mars joke was just freaking funny too. That song that they used with the lyrics, "If this is just a dream, I do not want to wake up." I had to add the song to my playlist because those lyrics hit hard to the core. And by the way, the name of the band is Foxy Shazam, and the song is titled Dreamer. It breaks you seeing Peacemaker finally meeting his brother when he's older and seeing his father again after he killed both of them. But despite that, the episode ended in a crazy ass note. But now episode 2, a man is only as good as his bird. Rick Flag Sr. is now the new acting director for Argus. I did not catch how he was the father of Rick Flag Jr., which is the one that Peacemaker killed in the Suicide Squad. And to be honest with you, he was one of the main characters that I liked the most in that movie. And I was pleasantly surprised and shocked when they made the connection that that was his son. And I hated how Peacemaker killed him off. Now it all makes sense why Flag Sr. is trying to have someone else watch over Economist as he watches his own friends. I really liked and loved the Suicide Squad, so I was more than happy to see how it is being connected with the new DCU. Does anyone else have bird blindness? because I don't. It was freaking hilarious seeing Chris try to hide his own body too. That shower scene though, and that party scene, yeah, they do not bother to hold back at all in this show. To me, it was pretty interesting to know that the quantum unfolding chamber belonged to Chris's father and how it connects to 99 other universes. And to top it off, each time Chris uses that chamber, Argus is able to detect it. And I found it also curious how Ad and her girlfriend were going to move to Gotham. Now I wonder how Gotham looks in the DCU. And we all need a friend like Adrian, someone who will support you no matter what. To me, he seemed like a chill version of Dexter, mainly when he was dancing and mopping. But he is a pretty jealous type. I gotta say, I like their pack name, the 11th Street Kids. Flurry and his nicknames are pretty hilarious. To me, he seems like a big time bully. And I gotta point out, Igly is a badass bird. I love his scene in the end of the episode where he was trying to protect his home and when he poked out the guy's eye. That shit was pretty amazing. Now, episode 3. Another Rick up my sleeve. My jaw dropped seeing Rick Jr. in the bed, and of course it was with Harcourt. Drama is truly unfolding here now. This, in my opinion, just keeps on getting better and better. I truly support this because, honestly, The Suicide Squad is one of my top films by James Gunn. Chris is living his best life in this whole new universe. It kinda seems that he's an asshole in that universe, but we'll find out. And of course, the scene where Chris is helping the government agency by protecting people from the bomb. Freaking perfection. And to top it off, when he was just running on the back on a printer, yeah. Pretty good. That scene though with Chris and his brother Keith really shows how broken Chris is. This vulgar TV show truly has some deep moments. Now episode 4. Need I say door? That intro scene with Chris as a kid and his father shooting that creature made me think of Terrifier and Art the Clown because those guts were just pouring everywhere, which I did not mind at all. I was wondering, is that the same creature from episode 1 that Chris pointed out he never says hi back? I guess we'll find out. Or if you know the answer, please let me know it in the comments below. Props to Economist for pushing Red Stain Wild onto that rock. Screw him for trying to kill Eagly. It's pretty cool how you can transfer the whole quantum chamber with that little object. And of course, Flag Sr. will go to Harcourt with the deal to get her back to Argus. This is all she wants. She wants to go back into the game and have purpose again. After all, she was blacklisted. It's clear as day that Chris wants to be loved and feel complete after his conversation with Ads. Red Saint Wild is not fine in the head, but I will admit though, his ritual was pretty funny, he was butt naked, and he's freaking crazy. But now, episode 5. Back to the suture. In this episode, they take us back 3 years, and you get to see the funeral for Flag Jr. And here, you can tell that Harcourt and him were pretty close. I love how Chris knew that he was being locked on, despite not fully understanding the safe word by Harcourt. I kinda thought that Harcourt was going to give him in fully, but she saved him no matter what. And that's when you can tell that she actually cares about him still. In this scene, you get to fully comprehend how Harcourt was really close with Flag Jr. and his death devastated her, and this just adds as to why she rather not fall for Chris. I got a quick question. Do you like Greek? Flag Sr. is clearly caught up in all of this. This is getting too personal to him, but it seems that he has the bigger picture, so let's see what the hell happens. And then Rat Stain Wild is batshit crazy, and I thought that he actually killed Eagly. But I kinda wonder now too if the eagles actually killed him. But now for sure we know that there is such thing as a prime eagle. One thing that really ticked me off this episode was seeing Adrian cry, because so far he has been nothing but optimistic and joyful. So screw you Chris for making him cry. But now for sure his gang, the 11th Street Kids, are off to save Chris. And I'm kind of curious too about this. I wonder what other heroes they will find in that dimension. And I also wonder what Judo Master is going to do. To me, it's pretty crazy seeing Chris's transformation from the Suicide Squad to season 2 for Peacemaker, because we get to see how he goes from being a sadistic individual to someone who wants to change his life and go back to being loved and feel complete. And to top it off, he turned out to be selfless. He left behind his object so his whole gang can go back to living their old lives. But now, let me give you my final thoughts on the season so far. To me, this is a season about someone who is broken inside. Someone who wants to feel whole through his friends, through his family, and his loved ones. If you don't mind the foul language, the raunchy behavior and actions, then I recommend watching this show for sure. I will cover the last 3 episodes once they all come out, and will give you my final thoughts and review on the overall season then. As of right now, out of 5 stars, I will give this 5 out of 5. Yes, I love this show that much. But for now, this is the true cinematic experience at home because that's where you can see it. So make sure to watch it with the volume all the way up. Well, thank you my cinematic family for all of your time today. Please hit the subscribe button, maybe the like button if you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on Peacemaker Season 2 so far. But in the meantime, take care. I'll see you next time.